Save 10% with my code BOBBY10 on raw, organic, grass-fed and grass-finished, freeze-dried organ meats from Grassland Nutrition. Link in the description box. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Bobby, straight out of the kitchen, yet again still traveling guys, excuse the background. Guys, today fascinating videos. For the first time we're gonna react to two videos at the same time. We're gonna watch similarity between Christian prayer in Aramaic and the Muslim prayer, and on top of that we're gonna watch every Muslim must see prophets of the Bible prayed like Muslims. This is something that I got surprised with when I went to Athos. Athos is an independent Orthodox state in Greece which hasn't changed for over 1,000 years. Over 1,000 years, monks practice the monastic lifestyle. There are no women allowed. There are only men for over thousands of years, and they practice true Christian orthodoxy over there. However, when I visited and lived in the monastery, I saw some monks bowing down to their knees with their forehead on the floor. And I thought back then, wow, this is really how the Muslims pray. And those guys haven't changed their ways for over 1,000 years. So apparently this is how we all prayed back in the day, no matter if we were Christians, Muslims or Jews. Very, very interesting stuff. I'm looking forward to those videos. Let's have a look. Aramaic Lord Prayer. Aramaic was the language of Jesus. Similarities between original Christian prayer and the Muslim prayer. Let's go.
Abuna de Bishmaya Yit Kadash Shema Tete Malkuta Tifei Reuta Hek de Bishmaya.
And he, Jesus, went a little further and fell on his face and prayed. New Testament, Matthew 26:39.
Afalara Lakmana de Mistea Havlana Yomadana Ushavuk Lana Hovaina Kedi Shabakna Vehaya Vaina Va'al Ta'al Lanana Lenesyon Beiramatsel Namin Bisha.
As I said, this is basically what I saw on Athos as well, however they spoke Greek.
Lak Malkuta Ugehurta Vikara Adalam Almaya. Amen.
Amen. Very interesting to see, however not surprising. Nowadays, living in the West, we think that, hey, this is how Muslims pray. However, I know for a fact that people of all walks of life back in the day with different religions prayed like that. This is, of course, the most submissive position that you can bring yourself into in front of your Lord. It makes all the sense in the world. And as I said already now 3 times, on Athos, I saw the people that practiced the same religion for over 1,000 years pray in that fashion too. Alright, now let's jump into the next video. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alright, I'm gonna stop it here and read out the translation. Guys, it is you that told me this is permissible. After the sentence, you can stop a recitation. Before that, people told me it's not permissible. You have to listen to the whole recitation and then react to it afterwards. So I'm listening to you guys. Yet again, let me know in the comment section if this is correct or not. Anyways, the translation is: Muslims, those who submit to the will of God, perform ablution before prayer.
الحمد
that is the washing.
لله رب العالمين.
So David arose from the ground, washed wudu, and anointed himself and changed his clothes, and he went into the house of the Lord and prostrated himself there.
الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
So they shall wash their hands and their feet, that they die not, and it shall be a statue forever to them, even to him and to his seed throughout their generations. Exodus. So all of those passages now come straight from the Bible. Everything that we are reading here is quoted from the Bible directly.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
And Moses and Aaron and his sons washed their hands and their feet when they came near unto the altar. They washed as the Lord commanded Moses. So the answer to this from a Christian perspective would of course be Jesus. Simple as that. Jesus, when he goes to the Pharisees and tells them that they are following the laws of men and not the laws of God, because the Pharisees believed that you have to ritualistically wash yourself before eating. We're not talking about the prayer. We're talking about the Pharisees washing themselves ritualistically before eating, because they believed if you eat with dirty hands, this will defile you. But Jesus corrects them and says that nothing that enters your mouth will defile you, but that which comes out of the mouth defiles a man. And this is why Christians believe, of course, that it does not matter anymore if you wash yourself or not. They believe that those are rituals created by men and not by God. In the first position of prayer, Muslims lift up their hand palms at the side of their head. Like this, huh? Yeah. I will praise you as long as I live, and in your name I will lift up my hands.
ينادي فؤادي بليل السكون بدمع العيون.
I will have to stop it yet again. I believe this is a nasheed, and therefore it should be alright if I stop here. Yet again, correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. Muslims, while lifting up their hands, they proclaim Allahu Akbar, God is great, or as far as I know, God is greater. Great is the Lord and most worthy of praise in the city of our God, his holy mountain. Psalms. All the prophets in the Bible prayed as Muslims pray today, and this includes Jesus and his disciples. Absolutely correct. I agree. And Abraham fell on his face, and God talked with him. Genesis. Sure. Moses and Aaron, they fell upon their faces, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto them. Can't be any clearer. Yes. Joshua fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord until the eventide. During the reign of Solomon, they bowed themselves with their faces to the ground upon the pavement and worshipped. As I mentioned in previous videos, when I was a teenager, I read the Bible, I read the Old Testament, and I found that the swine shall be filthy for us, which means we shouldn't eat pork. This is when I stopped eating pork around 20 years ago. Now, seeing this in so much detail, I have to say, when I read the Bible, this actually actually escaped me. To see so many references to this particular prayer, I believe that if you are a Christian, you should definitely at least give it a try. Why don't you pray like those prophets? During the time of Nehemiah, the forms of worship were clearly described. They bowed down and worshipped the Lord with their faces to the ground. Nehemiah 8:6. Jesus, and he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. Matthew 26:39. This would be, of course, the definition of Islam, because this is the submission to God. It means you're not following your own will. Of course, in this instant, let this cup pass from me. Jesus wants this burden to be lifted off him. However, if it is his Father's will, then so be it. He's totally submitting to God. Yes.
فكيف أداوي الذنوب ذنوبي فكيف أداوي الذنوب ذنوبي فكيف
Jesus' disciples, when the disciples heard this, they fell face down to the ground, terrified, in prayer position. Elijah climbed to the top of Carmel, bent down to the ground, and put his face between his knees. It's pretty undeniable. They fell down on their faces before the throne and worshipped God. Revelations 7:11.
يا حامل القرآن قد خصك الرحمن بالفضل.
Come, let us bow down in worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker.
والتيجان والروح والريحان يا حامل.
All they that go down to the dust shall bow before him.
إلى القرآن.
Sure. The Catholics, on the other hand, mix this up a bit, and therefore they are kneeling within their churches, but they're not putting their head to the ground, just their knees.
قد خصك الرحمن
All they that go down to the dust shall bow before him.
بالفضل والتيجان.
Manuch and his wife fell with their faces to the ground. Yet again. Judges 13:20.
يا دائم الترتيل للذكر والتنزيل.
When all the people saw this, they fell prostrate and cried, The Lord, He is God, the Lord, He is God. Kings 18:39.
بشراك يوم رحيل ستفوز بالغفران يا قارئ الآيات.
I fell upon my face and cried and said, Our Lord God. Ezekiel 9:8.
الجمع والخلوات تزهو بك السماوات وتنتشي الأكوان.
David arose out of a place toward the south and fell on his face to the ground and bowed himself 3 times. Samuel 20:41. This is really amazing. I didn't know that there are so many passages speaking about this particular prayer. Ultimately, the prayer is described within the Bible. Muslims always say you need hadiths in order to understand how to pray. For the Christians, on the other hand, it has been made very, very easy because the prayer is described within the Bible. Therefore, there is no excuse not to pray like this, I would say.
يا حامل القرآن يا حامل القرآن يا حامل.
Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship and said unto him, What saith my Lord unto his servant? Joshua 5:14.
القرآن
الله أكبر الله.
This is the call to prayer, right? I hope I can interrupt this for the sake of reading. When Abraham's servant heard what they said, he bowed down to the ground before the Lord. Genesis 24:52.
الله أكبر.
Do you pray like the messengers of God have prayed? That's a question to us.
الله أكبر الله.
By the way, guys, I have to tell you this because right now, as you can see, I am traveling. I am currently in northern Macedonia, and around here I have masjids everywhere, and we hear the call to prayer 5 times per day. Just 2.5 years ago, roughly, when I was here in Macedonia the last time, I was getting enraged when I heard the call to prayer. I was simply thinking about our enemies, the Albanians, our enemies, and this is their thing. I don't want to listen to it. I simply want to listen to church bells. Shut it off. I had no idea what it means. I didn't know that it was glorifying God. Otherwise, I would think differently of it, of course. I was in a state of hate. Every single time I would hear the call to prayer, I would get angry. Nowadays, I have to say, I am so happy to hear it 5 times per day. Absolutely beautiful. We must realize that human beings chosen by God to bring God's message are the best of human beings. Yeah, I think that makes sense. If you believe in religion, of course, you have to believe in the prophets.
الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا
To not follow their lead is illogical and arrogant. As I said, out of the religious perspective, absolutely. If you're an atheist, then you don't believe in God anyways, so no matter what is being presented here, it will be simply silly to you, ridiculous. But to any believer, no matter if you are Christian or Jewish or Muslim or whatnot, this of course makes sense. You do have your prophets, and therefore not to follow their example doesn't make any sense, any logical sense. It is indeed irrational, especially if you look into the Old Testament and you see that all the Christian prophets have been praying like this. As I said already, as a Christian, I personally would get curious to at least try praying like those prophets.
أشهد أن لا
Bow down and prostrate to God and ask for guidance. It is God alone who can guide us. Absolutely. Who else? Who else? What else is there? I don't see it. As for those who believe and lead a righteous life, their Lord guides them by virtue of their belief. Rivers will flow beneath them in the garden of bliss. Their prayer therein is, Be you glorified, our God. The greeting therein is, Peace. And the ending conclusion of their prayer is, Praise be to God, Lord of the universe. Quran 10:9-10. Absolutely beautifully put.
أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.
This is the Shahada, correct me if I'm wrong.
أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.
That's what I understand. Muhammad is the servant of God.
حي على الصلاة.
Alright guys, and this is it for today's double reaction video. 2 videos about the Muslim and the Christian prayer alike. As I said already, I would urge every Christian at least to reread those passages and then to ask himself simply, why not try to pray like those prophets? Alright guys, but this is it for today, long enough as it is. If you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, guys, please do so. And if you want to support this channel, all the links are in the description box below. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It really means a lot. As always, may God bless you all. Much love and peace.